So this is a
there we go. Okay.
This is a restart. We're about maybe 12 minutes into it, and we have a restarted recording. So we're starting off. We're going through each candidate right now. We're just finished up with David Hughes, moving down the list.
Okay.
So David Hughes, we've heard that he's maybe reached his limit of experience as far as age, and maybe he's not the right fit, but he does have a lot of good attributes. Knows everybody in the industry, it seems like, and looking for a change to maybe re-energize his career and things in general.
Hey, you remember earlier when I said that Steven took a vacation?
Yeah.
So if you've got the notes up, right above the interview was, what's her name? Sonia?
Sonia, yeah.
It states that Steven was glad that he'll have a break before the final 2 interviews for the following week.
Yeah, so he wasn't going on vacation. He had scheduled his interviews. He had, like, when he scheduled them, he had 2 this week and then none until the next week.
Yeah.
So this must have been really tired.
Well, and usually, I mean, I don't know how many of you guys have like interviewed other people, but you almost need time to like process, right?
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
2-week vacation would be, you know, in excess, but you know, the weekend or whatever.
And it's too bad he keeps getting pressure from up above.
Right.
To make a decision, because sometimes it does. At some point, you just got to be pushed into it. But also, this is a major position at the company, and you don't want to have to do this again in like 6 months.
And didn't he tell upper management that he had put the junior analyst, to see, what was her name, Rena, kind of in charge of where Peter was? Yeah,
she's the junior analyst.
Right.
Yeah, he said at least twice that, you know, she was kind of covering the position and things were okay.
Right. So it wasn't like.
Hey, I think the link was maybe not right. Brandon and Josh just emailed saying they haven't gotten a link yet.
There's Brandon, and I see. Is that Josh?
Oh.
Yeah, they're both here.
Oh, that's Jacob.
Yeah, Jacob's here. Brandon's here.
So just missing Josh.
Yeah.
I think we're all here.
Was Josh with us earlier?
Yeah, he just responded to the email saying he hasn't gotten a link.
Let me try it again.
Oh, somebody's drinking something. What you drinking?
Sorry, I'm drinking ginger ale. It's been a rough day.
Okay.
Hey, Jacob, did you use my link or did you use the invitation I just sent you?
I used the invitation you sent me. The link is to a YouTube link, so I was like watching you guys through YouTube, but couldn't like talk to you. It was weird.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I sent him the other link that you do when I invite, so hopefully that'll work for him.
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, that was weird. Yeah, I was sent to the YouTube thing as well.
Yeah, in the bottom links it has a YouTube link, and then but when you do the invitation, share the permanent link. I'm hoping that will work out for him.
He'll get it. He'll figure it out.
Where are we at then?
So we're just finished up with David, and we're going into Seth now.
Seth or Sonia?
I had Seth. Sonia's going to be my probably second to last. I'm just kind of going through like the ratings of each one.
Oh, okay. I was just going down the PDF. Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think of Seth?
Gotta get down to Seth.
For Seth, he's obviously super enthusiastic, super ambitious. Even on one of the exhibits, he was actually ranked fairly high. He was a runner-up as far as that institutional investors ranking. And then obviously the headhunter that was presenting him also said obviously he's a good stock picker. He has about 15 years of experience. But the piece of the puzzle that was kind of unassuring for Steven at least was that he seemed to really be actively seeking out a different position. So he couldn't get to the bottom of why exactly Seth gave an answer for why he was leaving his company, but I still feel like there is a little bit of hesitancy on Steven's part of what his true motives were for trying to get a new job. So I think that was something serious to consider. And then a lot of his, I guess, rankings could have been off of some of the good stock picks that he made last year. But Steven even made it a point that that ranking didn't necessarily take in consideration some of the bad picks that he made. So it could be skewed in a sense. So there's a lot of unsure things that happened with Seth, but overall his character and attitude seemed like a good fit for the company.
Yeah, it seemed like all the people from the company when he interviewed there was a lot of good to say about him. And there were some concerns too, but everyone seemed really excited about his enthusiasm and his drive and his passion for what they were doing. But with that, like you said, he's new. There's no real track record yet to go off of. So, like you look at Gerald and David, they've been in the industry for quite a while. They are legitimately ranked as a number 2 and a star. But so it's quite a bit of a gamble going with Seth. You could get a home run or you could get a strikeout.
Did you guys see that in the last page or last couple pages? It kind of gave the background of him, about how he was like working so long hours that he like broke up his 8-year marriage.
Oh, I didn't.
No.
It says his long hours at work resulted in the breakup of his 8-year marriage. His ex-wife then moved along with their 2 twin sons to Washington, D.C. To add insult to injury, his research director never seemed to regard him as among the top analysts at his department. So I feel like we can digest it a lot of different ways, but it's kind of like he's so dedicated to his work that his marriage broke up, and then to make things worse, his company didn't even recognize the work he put in. So, like, I'd be pretty angry at that company if I gave so much to them that it destroyed my marriage, and then they still didn't recognize me.
Yeah.
I'd want to leave too.
I'm wondering if he's kind of like, not high maintenance, but like in the case it says, I'm not switching firms lightly. I've been with Jefferson for 15 years. Loyalty is important to me. I just feel like they're no longer dedicated to me. And it's like, well, what are your expectations from a company that you work for? Like, I feel like there's, some miscommunication. And if he's working that much, his company should be recognizing.
Didn't he say he generated like 1/3 of their revenue or something like that for the previous year? Or quite a bit of amount of their revenue came from what he was doing. And he didn't feel like they even rewarded him in recognition or financially.
No, I don't remember that.
Let's see if I can find that.
That's crazy.
Any other thoughts about him?
That's who I'd pick.
So I didn't do it with David, but what would you give Seth as far as a rating?
I say 7 or 8. I think he's up there.
I'd say he's a 7.
Yeah, I was going to say 7 or 8 as well.
Yeah, I'm with you on that too.
It's a risky 7, but I would rate him 7.
There's a lot of upside to him.
Yep.
But the fact that
so he can really dedicate himself.
right, but the fact that he's divorced and the wife has the kids, that could become an issue.
That's true.
Well, and maybe what he needs is more of a mentor, and going to the company that they say family values and teamwork. Maybe that, and then he'll get more help, because I think that was another concern. He didn't feel like he got enough help. He had like one of his assistants help 2 or 3 other people. So maybe bringing him into this larger company might allow him to budget his time better. Maybe he can get back together with his wife.
Well, you better find another job.
We're thinking about eternal salvation in this case.
And lots of chocolate.
So. Just real quick, can we go back to David? What would you rate David?
David's up there. I'd put him at a 9 just because of his experience.
Yeah, I think the only thing against him, again, is his age.
Right.
Everything else seemed pretty much flawless. Yeah, they might have to pay him a little bit more. So I guess the compensation that they'll have to give him is going to be high, which is a negative. And then his age, so the longevity of how long he's going to stay with the company. But as far as a sure bet goes, I mean, I think you really got to take that into consideration. So I'd say an 8 or a 9. He was my choice.
Okay. All right. Anything more on Seth? You can move to Sonia.
No.
We can go ahead and move to Sonia.
Okay, Sonia, she's the one coming from the boutique. Really intelligent, smart, hardworking. She's done a lot with the little that she has. That's kind of how I looked at it.
You've got the 2 kids, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So what are your thoughts on Sonia?
I don't know. If I walked up and I saw a woman using a SpongeBob pen, I'd be looking for, Betty Boo or what's the Yellow Kitty or the Hello Kitty?
Garfield?
You know the Hello Kitty stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He definitely has a personality.
He definitely has that.
Yeah. But she's, really knowledgeable and she has really good reviews. But I don't think she's exactly right for the position. But
I like the fact that she said that she has some serious questions for Steven.
Yes.
Yeah, no, that was definitely a good sign.
Right, and how she wants to learn about the culture of the firm, and then ask if she could come and visit and interview the people who work there.
Yeah, she wanted to meet with the female analysts to see how it is there, and maybe secretly, how are you treated?
Right.
Right.
Like,
what is the ceiling like there for women at this company? Is there opportunity to grow and increase, or is there kind of like a glass ceiling there for the women?
Right. Is it a male dominant to where they're going to get paid more than us? Are they getting advanced more than us? So.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I think her values and her loyalty and her personality, like we've been saying, is a great fit for the company. She seems super knowledgeable about the industry. She's well respected. It said that she's got a lot of contacts with some upper management and CEOs, which is, again, a huge part of the job, according to some of the exhibits towards the bottom. But the biggest hurdle that I saw was I don't necessarily think it's a win-win for both the company and her, with her having 2 kids and her having the flexibility to travel or the lack thereof. I think that's going to be a big problem for her, and I think it's a big part of the job itself is being able to fly to different clients and be on site, and that's a big part of customer service in general. So I think that's something that would really get in the way of her excelling long term with the company. Maybe she'd be able to balance it for a while, but the work-life balance just I don't see that working out for either of them. And I think it'd be better if she's doing really well right now, it seems like, for that smaller firm, and it seems like they've catered to her, like being able to work from home and getting things done. I don't think it has been a problem for her so far. So I would say they're both just better off sticking to what they're doing right now.
Right. The other red flag that she has is that she asked Steven, what are the senior analysts making? And she didn't have an idea of what they were making. And then he makes the comment that, anywhere from 700 all the way up to a couple million. And then she comments, I had no idea it was that high.
Yeah, I didn't like that comment either.
I didn't either, because right there, if you know your industry, you're going to know what they pay.
Yeah. Very true.
I think on the flip side of that, though, she was also coming from a very small firm where she probably has never really associated with a big power firm like that.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I don't think she's ever been courted by a large firm like this.
So she's curious, like, okay, is this really worth my time?
Right.
Maybe she, in her head, she's like, okay, if the pay is literally that high, maybe I do need to do better about getting out and traveling and making sure that, I'm putting forth the effort to be worth that.
Right.
Because it seems like she's works very hard at her current position, and she's probably worth every penny they're paying her. But maybe, and that's what I was thinking, was with the new company, that's such a limiting factor. Like, yes, she seems to be doing really good. She seems to be able to work from home quite a bit. But if I was Steven and I was looking to hire somebody for a position, why would I potentially limit myself from having someone that's able to go out and travel?
Yeah.
Right.
No matter how good they are, you're just making everything one-dimensional
Well,
instead of having a.
what was the comment one of them made? Does she realize it's a 24/7 job? You know, they have to be able to react if something happens. They have to be able to react like that and
Right.
statement and do a write-up or whatever. So
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
The last paragraph, it states that Stephen actually had a thought of why she didn't get any offers from these investment banks.
yeah, why was she not picked up by some other?
Right. And how did she get stuck working at a small firm?
Yeah.
You know, so there's something going on that she's not high-end material as an employee.
So just kind of wrapping this up because we got a few more questions to do. What would you rate Sonia then?
3 or 4.
I would say 4, about the same as.
Yeah, mid-range, 4 or 5.
I mean, she has a ton of upside, but she could either do amazing or she can just crash and burn.
Right.
It's almost like she should come in as a junior analyst.
Exactly.
So that she could come in and understand really what's going on if it's something that she really wants to do. Okay. What about Rena?
I really like Rena.
Her too.
I think that if he doesn't give her that promotion, then he needs to promote her somewhere else and give her some other type of responsibility. Because I think that I think that he will lose her if he doesn't, and I think she's doing good being put into that position.
He does say that. He says, if you don't get this job, I'll make sure you head up another department.
Right.
She really wants to stay in this one. It's what she really likes doing. But at least he said that, I'm going to take care of you.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like with just a little bit of mentoring, she could totally be that star.
Yeah.
Right. Plus, she knows what's expected because she did work under Peter. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And that was one of the big reasons why I chose David, is because he would be a sure bet. He would be an easy fill. Everybody knows him. He's well respected. So it'd be a very seamless transition. But on top of that, he'd be able to train Rena, and then she could pick up. I mean, say he does only work for a short amount of time, he could really mentor her and amp her up and get her ready to take over for him. So, I mean, it wouldn't be ideal to have to switch again short term, but I think there's a win-win right there. They get someone who's a sure bet, who fills the spot, and it's a high-pressured spot right now that needs some security. So they got David for a while. He trains her, and then she just
look at all the contacts he could give to Rena.
Right.
Because he knows everyone in industry, and if she's working below him for 2 or 3 years, she's now going to be known as the one who trained underneath David, and that could be huge for her and the company.
Right. Yeah. They could actually put David under contract, a time frame contract, and within that contract, display or say, okay, we need this, and this from you. So
so what would you rate? What would you rate Rena?
Oh, I'd put her up there as a 8 and 9, 8 or 9.
I would say 8.
Yeah. Well, I think she's like a 7 or 8. I don't think she's quite ready, but I think she'll be ready very soon with the right training. So,
but she has the potential of taking over.
Totally.
Okay.
I just feel like it's a bad situation for her to take over now because management doesn't want her.
Right.
They're like setting her up to fail. Like, if I was in her position, I wouldn't want it if all the managers didn't want me there.
Yeah.
Right.
And everyone's pushing against it.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you've got everyone working against you the whole time, so every little mistake you make becomes a huge mistake.
Yeah. That's why if they brought in Peter, they'd have to sit everybody down and forecast what the plan is.
Okay, so based on ratings, I think it would be David would be the one that we would pick. What do you guys think?
I agree.
Yeah, I would agree. That was my conclusion.
Okay. So then going down the list, did you guys look at the salary for these people? They said they wanted me to discuss the salary or just at least talk to you about it.
For their current salary or the salary they will be getting?
What they will be getting at RSH. So here's how it breaks down. So Rena would be starting at $300,000. Sonia would start at 700,000. Seth would start at $1 million. Gerald would start at 1.2 million, and David would start at 1.5. So David compared to Rena is 5 times more than what Rena would start at. So what do you, after hearing that, what do you think? Would your decision change?
My decision. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, we really don't have any idea what their budget looks like. I mean, they could, as far as we know, afford 1.5 and not even flinch, but at the same time, it could be the complete opposite where each dollar really does count. So it's just tough to say because it's all in perspective. Obviously, to us, 1.5 is a ridiculous amount of money, but for them, it could be pocket change. So I guess it's all relative.
Yeah.
Based off the reading, I would kind of assume it seems to me like kind of is pocket change to him because Steven's superiors are jumping down his throat to get someone hired, and not only get someone hired, but they want like an A-lister.
Right.
They want
the best
star.
Somebody to that's worth paying that kind of money.
Yeah. So I would say he's worth it. I think David's completely worth it because their whole business model is based off of brand recognition and just the respect that their clients have for their employees. So I think it's worth every dollar if he's going to bring in, tenfold of what they're actually paying him as far as revenue for the company itself.
Plus, he ranks number 2 in Exhibit 2. I mean, he's right
rated
up there.
Yeah. I mean, he's number 2. So.
Okay. Couple more questions here. We kind of answered this one already. Should Steven give Rena a permanent offer? We kind of said no to that.
Right.
This one is kind of before all this. Should Steven have let Peter go?
Well, did Peter fire him? No, he resigned, didn't he?
Yeah, he quit.
I don't think he really had a choice. It's not like you can demand him to stay at his job.
Well,
money talks.
Yeah, exactly. It talked about how Steven had an option to offer Peter, a higher amount of pay, and he said, "Well, he just chose not to."
In my job, as I manage where I work, when someone's ready to go, you can put a Band-Aid on it, but it's not going to heal it. It's not going to fix the problem.
Right.
If they're ready to go, it's time for them to go.
In their mind, they've already checked
out. Right. So my thought
at the same time, I've seen it in my position where people also do that. Say they're ready to go, but they truly are happy. It's a way to get more money out of a company.
Yeah.
You never know. Peter might have been putting in his resignation, hoping that there was an offer, and that just didn't pan out. And now he is forced to go. But he very well might have been, anticipating or expecting them to come back with a better offer.
But is that the kind of person that you would want to employ? Wanting them to want that, and then what if that's what they were trying to do, then would they be using your higher offer to leverage more money at another company? And if that's all that's going on in their head, then if they get a better offer again in 6 months, even though you've just offered them more, then they'd probably take it.
Yeah, and that's it's not always going to be perfect. Does that work all the time? No, but that could be a possibility. Is it someone I'd want around for good? Probably not. But it also might, you make him an offer with him expecting to leave. It also would bring up the junior and allow her more time under a very good employee.
A lot of times in those positions too, what they'll do is they'll put the employee in their contract. We're going to pay you X amount more, but then you've got to be with us 18 months or 2 years or whatever it is. Yep. So there might be contingencies on that.
Right.
And he could have done that. He just decided not to.
Yeah, he somebody said earlier, they're done. Let them go.
Yeah. So I guess the question was, should he have made an offer to him? I say no.
No.
He could have.
Right.
He could have.
I would say if he would have came in to Steven and said, "Hey, I've been working really hard. I've been here for a long time. I feel like I'm entitled to a raise or this amount." That's different than just dropping hints and hoping that you get some kind of offer. If he's not even going to go talk to Steven, then there's something wrong with the relationship already.
But see, in the reading, it stated that through the industry, people knew that he was going to leave.
Right. Which means he was bad talking the company probably.
Yeah, and when Steven was interviewing somebody, they said, "Well, didn't you know he was planning on leaving a couple months ago?"
Yeah.
So.
Okay. The next question is, should Steven have talked with the recruiter to ask about Seth?
Oh yeah, I definitely
Absolutely.
think
I think. Go ahead.
Or to see, like, I guess it is kind of weird that the guy didn't have him on his list originally. That he must have seen something that that he didn't. No, sorry, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that was.
There might
weird.
be something.
I don't understand why he wasn't on the short list for his recruiter guy, and then he had to come out. But maybe he just didn't know about it.
Yeah, it could have been that, but that was like another one of the reasons that I had him ranked super high, but just barely underneath David for that reason alone. Is there's a few little things that we really just had to kind of jump to conclusions about. So there was a little bit of a risk factor hiring Seth because the maturity of who is this guy, where did he come from, why wasn't he brought up in the first place, and why is he all of a sudden this all-star from this third party who's telling me about him. So I don't know, it was just a little too many what ifs for me.
Right.
All right, the next one was, does the performance at one firm guarantee high performance at another firm?
No.
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 Absolutely not.
Someone's performance has so many variables that there's no way it will be the same.
Okay. And then, did you guys get a chance to look at the general human capital? And
I have it up. I have it pulled up, but I haven't read it yet.
Okay. The reading is great. I advise all of you to read it. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, was that that second page?
Yeah, it's the one with the arrow on it. It just talks about
portable, really portable.
Yeah, it's interesting.
It just talks about what you have to offer and how it pertains to a company. It has general human capital, strategic human capital, industry human capital, relationship human capital, and company-specific human capital.
At least it was short.
27 pages.
Yeah, at least it was on one page, right?
Yeah.
But I thought it was just interesting to see the way a company looks at an individual and what they bring to the table and what they can offer. So I just thought it was some extra information you guys can help maybe relate when making a decision about the people looking for this job. So any thoughts as we close up? That's about it.
I hope the next one's shorter.
Yeah. Is it just me, or are you guys all able to get like 5 to 6 pages written for your case study?
Oh, no.
I can only do like 3.
I can barely get 3.
Yeah, 3 or 4.
Okay. Are you guys getting good grades on it though?
I get like B's.
Okay.
Yeah, honestly, this has been the hardest that I've been graded as far as.
Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one because I just keep getting C's on them, and
yeah, I got a couple C's and a couple B minuses.
And I know I'm not like citing enough stuff, but it's hard to fit it all in by Tuesday.
That's what I get. I always get the please use your cite your work and use more. I'm like, forget it. I'll just take my B.
Difference in the case last week to this week. Last week it was a page.
Right.
This one, 27. It's like last week. I don't know how anyone could write 4 pages.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that makes me feel a little bit better.
just picture it as a watercolor. You can add a lot of water and it thins out the content.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Oh my gosh. Okay.
At this point, as long as I get a C, I don't care. At the end of the day.
Shoot, you guys, we should have stopped the recording before we
I'll go back and edit that. All right, so thank you guys very much.
All right, guys. Enjoy your
I'll
week.
post this up and also make a comment that says that we had some technical difficulties. We started about 10 minutes into the recording.
Yeah.
Awesome. And I'll be leading next week, so I'll just send out a reminder email.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thanks,
Good.
guys.
All right.
Yeah.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
All right, Ashley. Good luck.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.